Hi guys, it's Dr. George here for Tucked In Tuesdays. And I'm 3 minutes late, but I'm here and I don't have my hoodie on. There I go. I have my hoodie on. I was catching up on work because we had a bad weather day today because of tropical storm, well, hurricane at one point, Nicholas. So I was able to catch up on work and time got away from me, but I'm back. So join in, grab a friend, share a video. I have two great books tonight for you guys. Let me change the color of my little thing, bring a little sunshine because it's been kind of blah today here in Beaumont, Texas, but all is well here. And hi, Mike. Yes, you did miss me, and I did get your postcard with Dr. Seuss. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I finally received it. And yes, Nicholas is far gone. So that is good news. All righty. Let me turn this down. I have two books tonight. The first book is It Is Night by Phyllis Rowan, pictures by Laura Dronzik, permission granted by HarperCollins. The second book is The Prince and the Witch and the Thief and the Bears by Alistair Chisholm and illustrated by Jazz Tua. So I'm going to give you all a chance to come in. I'm going to go live on TikTok as well. So this will be new for me. So if you see me looking away, that's what I'm doing. And one day I'm going to learn how to do everything at one time from one streaming device. So here I go. So hi, TikTok. I am here. So here we go. All righty. So hi, TikTok. Hi, TikTok, and hi, Facebook. So I'll start reading my first book for tonight. It Is Night by Phyllis Rowan, pictures by Laura Drunzik. So I am going to make sure that I can see my friends that follow me on my personal page as well. And because I do have a few of my friends that follow me on my personal page, but my comments don't show up on here. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge everybody that supports Dr. George and her Tucked In Tuesday efforts. And if you're on late, I just wanted to remind you guys that I was working today because today was a weather day and I got carried away with work. Yes, Mike. Oh my, it's right. So I wanted to show my love to every single one of you. So that's what I'm doing now. So I have a few joining in on TikTok, and that's good news. And here we go. So my first book, It Is Night. I'm going to tuck you in with a book, a nice book. So it is hi. So It Is Night. So here we go. It is night. Where should a big brown bear sleep? Oh my, where should a big brown bear sleep? Not quite sure. Hello, Ava, Ari, and Pop Pop. How are you? I love you too, Miss Savoy. When it is cold in a cozy cave and when it is warm, a bed of leaves under the sweet smelling pine is fine for him. Now, where would a rooster roost? Now, if you leave it up to my husband, he will say a rooster never sleeps because our rooster, Kelly, crows all night long. Hi, Audrey. In a chicken coop. A rabbit, of course, if he has his own way, will go hopping at night and sleep all day. But where would a good bed for a rabbit be? Where would be a good bed for a rabbit? In a cabbage, except that he would want to eat it, and he couldn't sleep in it and eat it too. Where would a duck settle down for the night? So yes, a rabbit, if it fell asleep in there, would eat it all. And hello, Miss Fehrenbacher, and Mike is telling the kids hello as well. So sweet. So here we go. In the tall grass at the water's edge, with his head tucked under his wing. Where does a little cat curl up at night? So let's see, where does a little cat curl up at night? I don't have a pet cat, but I bet it's somewhere snuggly. Oh no, Mike, I'm not sure why it's frozen. Is it frozen for anyone else? Her own special basket is what she would like, with a lining of woolly warmth or smooth silk. Where should a seal rest his sleek head? So let's see where. Thank you, Audra, for letting me know. On the quiet beach of a faraway island, or safe in an island cave, and a dog. Look at that. Where do you think a dog would sleep? Belongs outdoors in a doghouse so he can keep an eye on the stars and see that they don't bump into the moon. Well, some people would say a dog belongs in the house. Some say outside. Where would a good big bed for a good big elephant? Hi, Dr. Knight, Kimber. For a good big elephant. Oh my. A place deep in the dark jungle, under the heavy forest trees. A tiger, a lion, a zebra, a giraffe would like that too. Where does a railroad train go at night? If it is going somewhere, it goes there. And if it's not, it stands still on the tracks. And dolls, big and small, where do they belong at the end of a happy day? Tucked away in their own big and little beds after the long hours of play. Where does a mouse sleep? Let's find out where a mouse sleeps. If he is a house mouse, somewhere in a house, and if he is a field mouse, the tall grasses keeps his tiny self safe. And a monkey? Where does a monkey sleep? He should be hiding high in a tree, his tail twisting round and round to keep him from falling down to the ground. These would be a good beds for all of these, but do they sleep there? No. They sleep in the bed of one small child. All of them, the bear, the lion. Keep going, I'm about to fall asleep. I will. The bear, the lion, the large and small dolls, the elephant, the zebra, the mouse, the rooster, the dog, the cat, the giraffe, the duck, the seal, the railroad train, the tiger, they all crowd into that one bed every night. But the child doesn't care. The child loves them all and wants them there. This is the bed for that small child. It was their toys. Oh. Sweet sleep, small one, snug in your own big world, safe in your own little bed. Good night. How cool is that? Now, my next book is from my dear friend. I don't know if you guys have heard of Usborne Books, but Usborne Books is let me see if I can flip the camera on this. Usborne Books is a kind of where you can purchase books through a website. So my friend Kelly in Louisiana, I did like that one too, Audrey. She gave a lot of books to Homer Drive, and she does book fairs with Homer Drive. So this is one of the books, permission granted by Usborne, The Prince and the Witch and the Thief and the Bears by Alistair Chisholm, illustrated by Jez Tua. So here we go. Thanks, Kelly, for this. What kind of story shall we have tonight? Asked Dad as he tucked Jamie into bed one evening. A made-up one, said Jamie, with a prince and a bear and a witch and more bears. All right, said Dad. Why not? It was a very cute book. I'm glad you'll sleep better tonight. Yes, that's a lot of characters, Mike. This, said Dad, is a story called The Prince and the Witch and the Thief and the Bears. And by Jamie's dad. Once upon a time, said Dad, there lived a valiant prince. He was a brave and noble prince, and he lived in a far-off kingdom where how far off? Asked Jamie. What? Asked Dad. How far off was the kingdom? The kingdom, said Dad, was... Yes, she has the best book. Far, far away, on top of the highest mountain in the world, Mount really, really tall, where fierce bears and dragons and wolves prowl. Oh my goodness, Dad is trying to make up that story on the spot. How fierce were the bears? Asked Jamie. Very fierce, said Dad. Enormous and shaggy, with thick matted hair and vicious claws, as big as your head. So, how did the prince get past the bears then? He climbed down the cliffside where the bears couldn't reach, said Dad. Wow, said Jamie, with his horse as well? Yes, said Dad. He carried his horse on his back. Wow. He was very strong, said Dad. Hi, Miss Kelly. So, said Dad, there was this prince, and he was very brave, and one day he set off to rescue a beautiful princess. Why couldn't the princess rescue the prince? Complained Jamie. Mom says princesses in stories are rubbish. Well, in this story, it's the prince. I wanted to be the princess, said Jamie. All right, replied Dad. Why not? The very brave princess set off. No, actually, I want the prince, said Jamie. The prince, exclaimed Dad, set off to rescue the princess. The princess was a prisoner in a dark tower at the edge of the forest. She was being held there by her wicked aunt, who was really a witch with an evil eye. Check out that evil eye. Yikes. How evil? So evil that it could turn you into stone, said Dad. Or jello, asked Jamie. No, stone. But maybe jello sometimes. Well, okay, yes, sometimes, said Dad. Good, said Jamie. I like jello. So there's a couple of the witch's spells before and after. The witch had locked the princess up in the tower. Why did she do that? She did it to set a trap for the prince. The witch hated the prince because he laughed at her only friend, a tiny green frog, just as big as your thumb, who lived in the folds of the witch's cloak. And so it was that the prince rode for many miles. The prince rode for many miles until he reached the tower, a terrible, awful place called Castle. Castle? Broccoli, said Jamie darkly. Castle Broccoli. I don't like broccoli, muttered Jamie. At the top of the disgusting, hideous Castle Broccoli, the prince looked for the princess, but before he could rescue her, the witch caught him, shouted Jamie. The witch caught him, agreed Dad. And they had a fight, shouted Jamie. And they had a fight, agreed Dad. Because the witch was really a ninja, said Jamie. Because the witch was really a ninja? Yes, exactly, said Dad. The witch, who was really a ninja, attacked the prince with a mighty leaping kick. But he dodged and she flew over the castle walls and and was eaten by the bears, said Dad dramatically. Oh, said Jamie. Dad looked down. What's wrong? He asked. I like the witch, said Jamie. She was a ninja and she had an evil eye and a frog. And anyways, it was all the silly prince's fault for laughing. And she never got to turn anyone into jello. Said Dad. Right. The witch was eaten by the bears, he said. Or so it seemed. But at the last minute, the princess, who was secretly a famous jewel thief called Fingers Malloy, picked the lock of her cell, ran to the wall, threw down a grappling rope, and caught the witch. Yay! So the witch was actually saved. But then the tiny frog fell out of the witch's cloak. Oh, no, said Jamie. Oh, no, said the prince, said Dad. The witch grabbed the frog and the princess, and the prince heaved her back up. And the horse helped, said Jamie. And the horse helped, of course, said Dad. Together they pulled the witch and her frog back up to the top of the castle into safety. Hooray! The witch was so grateful to them for rescuing her frog that she said she was sorry for capturing the princess. And the princess sorry to the witch for laughing at a frog. And then the prince and the princess, who was secretly the jewel thief, Fingers Malloy, set off home for their next adventure. Ooh, that's a lot of details. As night fell and the stars twinkled over the land of Mount Really, Really Tall, the witch tucked the frog back into the folds of her cloak, where it was nice and warm. Dad tucked Jamie under the covers. How warm? Asked Jamie, blinking sleepily. As warm, Dad said, as a lovely warm bug, snuggled up in the rug with a hug from his dad who loves him. How much? Murmured Jamie. As much, whispered Dad softly, as your daddy loves you. Daddy, whispered Jamie. Yes? What about the bears? Don't worry, said Dad. We'll find out about them tomorrow. I love you guys too. And he kissed Jamie goodnight and left him to dream. So those are our two books, and those that are tuning in for the first time, I never read these books in advance. I read them the night of. So if I mess up on a word or I kind of start telling the story kind of crazy, it's because I didn't read it before. Because I want you guys to know that when you read and you mess up, it's okay. So the first book, It Is Night. I always like to give takeaways. Oh no, I have to go to bed now, but I had a lot of fun. Thank you. Bye. Good night, Audrey. So it is night. This is the thing about it is night. So here, my biggest takeaway from this book is sometimes things don't seem what they really are. And in the beginning, we thought they were real things out in the world, but actually they were just stuffed animals in the kid's bed. Sometimes we put fear in our hearts when it shouldn't be there. So that was a great takeaway from this book. My second one, The Witch, the Prince, and the Witch, and the Thief, and the Bears. Big takeaway from this book is sometimes we think life is supposed to go like this. Bump, 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 bump. But actually, boys and girls, sometimes there's little bumps in the road that changes it. It was a beautiful book. Thank you, Miss Fernbacher. Sometimes there's little bumps in the road that don't allow you to keep the same story or idea that you had originally. So those are my two biggest takeaways. Now, next week, I want you guys to tune in because I'll have a very special guest. And right after I get off here, I'll put that information up. But it's a kid that wrote a book. And if you haven't heard about the Buddy Bench, well, you'll find out about it Tuesday because that kid wrote a book. So, guys, next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central, I'll see you back here. Please share for next week. I want her to have lots and lots of support. And guys, as I say every Tuesday, if nobody else tells you, oh, and here's a bonus, she'll be here live, virtually, that is. But as I was saying, if nobody else tells you, Dr. George loves you. Good night, guys.